discover the main story. Let's see what the old geezers had to say at the graveyard. Hello, it's been a long time.
Sky above, voice within.
Was Chicken Windcaller.
He was a great war leader of the ancient Nords, a master of the voice, or tongue. After the disaster at Red Mountain, where the Nord army was annihilated, he spent many years pondering the meaning of that terrible defeat. He finally came to realize that the gods had punished the Nords for their arrogant and blasphemous misuse of the voice. He was the first to understand that the voice should be used solely for the glory and worship of the gods, not the glory of men. Jürgen Windcaller's mastery of the voice eventually overcame all opposition, and the way of the voice was born.
Pretty cool. Need to learn the shout. Use the different of the end.
Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to?
What you call an Ogden's one?
The Blades, of course. They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no bounds. They have always sought to turn the Dragonborn from the path lost. Have you learned nothing from us? Would you simply be a tool in the hands of the Blades to be used for their own purposes?
The Blades are helping me. I'm not their puppet. They just wanted to bring all the end to you.
What I want is irrelevant. This shout was used once before, was it not? And here we are again. Have you considered that Alduin was not meant to be defeated? Those who overthrew him in ancient times only postponed the day of reckoning. They did not stop it. If the world is meant to end, so be it. Let it end and be reborn.
So you want to help me?
No, not now. Not until you return to the path of wisdom.
Rock lostovakin strundul. Rock ventin vak pardonax.
Dragonborn, wait.
Me?
Forgive me, I was intemperate. I allowed my emotions to cloud my judgment. Master Einarth reminded me of my duty. The decision whether or not to help you is not mine to make.
So can you teach me the shout?
No, I cannot teach it to you because I do not know it. It is called Dragon Rend, but its words of power are unknown to us. We do not regret this loss. Dragon Rend holds no place within the way of the voice.
I thought you knew all the words of power.
But not Dragon Rend. The knowledge of that shout was lost in the time before history began. Perhaps only its creators ever knew it, but I am not the one to speak of it to you.
The shout's also going to be audience.
Only Paarthurnax, the master of our order, can answer that question, if he so chooses.
Which palm is he
He is our leader. He surpasses us all in his mastery of the way of the voice. He lives in seclusion on the very peak of the mountain. He speaks to us only rarely, and never to outsiders. Being allowed to see him is a great privilege.
How do I get it down? I want to see him.
Only those whose voice is strong can find the path. We will teach you a shout to open the way to Paarthurnax.
Okay, what's the shout? I don't know if it was a glitch, but I decided to hold off on getting that shout here for now. Need to do some tests.
Path to Paarthurnax lies through this gate. I will show you how to open the way.
Key?
Look.
Clear sky shout.
Ah. Cool.
What about sky? The skies.
I will grant you my understanding of clear skies. This is your final gift from us, Dragonborn. Use it well. Clear skies will blow away the mist, but only for a time. to Parthenax is perilous, not to be embarked upon lightly. Keep moving, stay focused on your goal, and you will reach the summit.
Thank you very much. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Shout. Pretty cool. Only useful on this mountain try out. Okay, that works. Throat of the world discovered.
Remyolok, greetings, Wundunik. I am
okay.
Parthenax.
Who?
Who are you? What brings you to my Strulmach, my mountain?
You're the master of Arabians?
I am as my father Akatosh made me, as are you, Dovahkiin. Tell me, why do you come here, Volan? Why do you intrude on my meditation?
I need you shout.
Drem, patience. There are formalities which must be observed at the first meeting of two of the Dove.
Eh?
By long tradition, the Elder speaks first. Hear my thum. Feel it in your bones. Match it if you are Dovahkiin.
Okay.
Why do you intrude here if not for Tinvak? The word calls you. Go to it. A gift, Dovahkiin. Yoda, understand fire as the dawn.
Oh, what are you trying? What a way.
Now,
What a surprise.
show me what you can do. Greet me not as mortal, but as Dova.
Okay, master. Goose.
Ah, yes. Sosedo Vrostmul. The dragon blood runs strong in you. It is long since I had the pleasure of speech with one of my own kind.
Nice.
So, you have made your way here to me. No easy task for a Jor, mortal. Even for one of Dovasos, dragon blood. What would you ask of me?
Can you teach me a dragon when you shout?
Ah, I have expected you, Proda. You would not come all this way for Tinvak with an old Dova. No, you seek your weapon against Alduin.
Yes. How did you know I came for a dragon?
Alduin Comet Tid. What else would you seek? Alduin and Dovahkiin return together. But I do not know the Thum you seek. Croesus, it cannot be known to me. Your kind, Jor, mortals, created it as a weapon against the Dove, the dragons. Our Hadrime, our minds, tongues cannot even comprehend its concepts. Drem, all in good time. First, a question for you. Why do you want to learn this Thum?
I need to stop Odin. Or this.
Prusa, as good a reason as any. There are many who feel as you do, although not all.
Yeah.
Some would say that all things must end, so that the next can come to pass. Perhaps this world is simply the egg of the next Kalpa? Lean Vokin? Would you stop the next world from being born?
That's what we had to take care of. That's too hard for me.
Paz, a fair answer. Rofus, maybe you only balance the forces that work to quicken the end of this world. Even we who ride the currents of time cannot see past time's end. Wulsetid los trahodis. Those who try to hasten the end may delay it. Those who work to delay the end may bring it closer. But you have indulged my weakness for speech long enough. Croesus, now I will answer your question.
I'll shout so I can...
Do you know why I live here, at the peak of the Monavin, what you name Throat of the World?
Done. Dragons like munchins?
True, but few now remember that this was the very spot where Alduin was defeated by the ancient tongues. Varucht Unslad. Perhaps none but me now remember how he was defeated.
Using a dragon when you shout, right?
Yes and no. Viknus Nikron. Alduin was not truly defeated either. If he was, you would not be here today seeking to defeat him. The Nords of those days used the Dragonrend shout to cripple Alduin, but this was not enough. Ok Mulag Unslad. It was the Kell, the Elder Scroll. They used it to cast him adrift on the currents of time.
The what? An Elder Scroll? What's that?
How to explain in your tongue? The Dove have words for such things that Jor do not. It is an artifact from outside time.
Wow.
It does not exist, but it has always existed. Rahwahlan. They are fragments of creation. The Kele, Elder Scrolls as you name them, they have often been used for prophecy. Yes, your prophecy comes from an Elder Scroll. But this is only a small part of their power. Zofa Sulier.
Agent knows in time.
Not intentionally. Some hoped he would be gone forever. Forever lost. Meye. I knew better. Tidbo Amativ. Time flows ever onward. One day, he would surface. Which is why I have lived here. For thousands of mortal years, I have waited. I knew where he would emerge, but not when.
How does any of this help me?
Tid Krent. Time was shattered here because of what the ancient Nords did to Alduin. If you brought that Kell, that Elder Scroll back here to the Tid Ahran, the Time Wound, with the Elder Scroll that was used to break time, you may be able to cast yourself back to the other end of the break. You could learn Dragonrend from those who created it.
Completed the thought of the world. Studied elder knowledge. The location of the Elder Scroll.
Croesus, no. I know little of what has passed below in the long years I have lived here. You are likely better informed than I.
It's foreknown.
Trust your instincts, Dovahkiin. Your blood will show you the way. Return it here to the Tid Ahran. Then, Kele Vomindok. Nothing is certain with such things. But I believe the scroll's bond with the Tid Ahran will allow you a seeing, a vision of the moment of its creation. Then you will feel, know Dragonrend in the power of its first expression. Cool. You will see them, Wuthfadon, my friends, Haken, Gormlaith, Feldir. The first mortals that I taught the Thum, the first tongues, the leaders of the rebellion against Alduin. They were mighty in their day, even to attempt to defeat Alduin. Sahrot Hyun, the Nords have had many heroes since, but none greater. I cannot tell you in detail. I never heard it used. Kogan. It was the first Thum created solely by mortals.
Wow.
It was said to force a dragon to experience the concept of mortality. A truly von Mindoran. Incomprehensible idea to the immortal Dove. Vomindok, I do not know. Perhaps in the very doing, they erased the knowing of it from time itself. The Dove are children of Akatosh. Thus, we are specially attuned to the flow of time. Perhaps also uniquely vulnerable. I warned them against such a rash action. Even I could not foresee its consequences. Nust Lihon, they would not listen. Yes, there were a few of us that rebelled against Alduin Stur, his tyranny. We aided the humans in his overthrow. But they did not trust us, ni Ov. Their inner counsels were kept hidden from us. I was far from here on the day of Alduin's downfall, but all Dove felt the sundering of time itself.
Do others come here to drink?
I have taught the way of the voice for centuries, and the Thum since long before that. But no, Dovahkiin. Others do not come here to train anymore. Saran, you are the first in over 100 years. I meditate on the Rotmulag, the words of power. I counsel in their use. It is enough for me.
Meditating on the words? How?
Knowing a word of power is to take its meaning into yourself. Contemplate the meaning of a Rotmulag. You will become closer to that word as it fills your inner self. Will I teach you, Dovahkiin? What word calls you to deeper understanding? There are 3 to master: Fus, Faim, and Yol. It is called force in your tongue, but as you push the world, so does the world push back. Think of the way force may be applied effortlessly. Imagine but a whisper pushing aside all in its path. That is Fus. Let its meaning fill you. Sum Ark Mora. You will push the world harder than it pushes back. Which calls to you, Dovahkiin? Fus, Faim, or Yol? In your tongue, the word simply means fire. It is change given form, power at its most primal. That is the true meaning of Yol. Solyek, power. You have it, as do all Dove. But power is inert without action and choice. Think of this as the fire builds in your Sum, in your breath. Sum Ark Mora. What will you burn? What will you spare?
I would spare the innocent.
Which calls to you, Dovahkiin? Fus, Faim, or Yol? Fade in your tongue. Mortals have greater affinity for this word than the Dove. Everything mortal fades away in time, but the spirit remains. Ponder the meaning of spirit. Unslad Zee, where mortal flesh may wither and die, the spirit endures. That is fine. Let that meaning fill you. Sum Ark Mora. You will find that your spirit will give you more strength.
Thank you very much.
Drem Yolok, greetings. Lok Thum.
You was correct. Unoffendable. Not one to routine. Still. He's too egg. It's the right to work well. And it's nice blocks. To help players craft every ship they want. Nice to see you. Made it to the top. I'll chat to you. Hello.
you spoke to Parthenos. The dragon blood burns bright within you. Did he tell you what you wanted to know? Did he teach you the dragon rend shout?
No, he told me how to find one.
So be it. If he believes it is necessary for you to learn this, we will bow to his wisdom.
I need the other scrolls the agents use. Do you know where to find it?
We have never concerned ourselves with the scrolls. The gods themselves would rightly fear to tamper with such things. As for where to find it, such blasphemies have always been the stock and trade of the mages of Winterhold. They may be able to tell you something about the Elder Scroll you seek.
Completed. Turn to Agno. Any idea where to find the other scroll? Is there another way to defeat Alderaan?
Perhaps not. But this shout was used once before, was it not? And here we are again. Have you considered that Alduin was not meant to be defeated? Those who overthrew him in ancient times only postponed the day of reckoning. They did not stop it. If the world is meant to end, so be it. Let it end and be reborn.
What is the way of the voice?
The voice was a gift of the goddess Kinnereth at the dawn of time. She gave mortals the ability to speak as dragons do. Although this gift has often been misused, the only true use of the voice is for the worship and glory of the gods. True mastery of the voice can only be achieved when your inner spirit is in harmony with your outward actions. In the contemplation of the sky, Kinnereth's domain, and the practice of the voice, we strive to achieve this balance.
When I don't follow your philosophy, why help me learn the voice?
The Dragonborn is an exception to all the rules. The dragon blood itself is a gift of the gods. If we accept one gift, how can we deny the other? As Dragonborn, you have received the ability to shout directly from Akatosh. We therefore seek to guide you on the proper use of your gift, which transcends the restrictions which bind other mortals.
Thank you for your help.
Guide you.
Its destination is waiting for us. Next episode.